A major turning point in humanity's spiritual evolution has been reached. January 8, 2014. Humanity's quest for meaning, the ever-ongoing search for a life purpose other than plain survival in an environment that does not support your bodily needs without a lot of effort and focus on your part, is now becoming far clearer to you. For eons, basic survival was the driving force in human lives, but over the last few decades many of you have found yourselves in situations that are conducive to contemplation, to wise and thoughtful consideration of your religious, philosophical, political, and cultural beliefs and values that had been imposed from without and which you had accepted unquestioningly. You no longer do so, and this has and is causing anxiety and doubt of a nature not previously experienced. The comfortable acceptance of rigid dogmas and of the judgments attached to them has been severely shaken and is leading to a renewed and enthusiastic search for true spiritual guidance that does not come laden with a set of personally motivated agendas from self-appointed and arrogant authority figures that are in conflict with its claimed ideals. As you have so often been told, you are divine beings of enormous power, and for eons you have collectively been using that power, without awareness, to maintain and support an illusion that imposes severe restrictions and limitations upon you, not the least of which are time and your human bodies. Time, which from your perspective can seem endless and overwhelming in respect to the formation of universes, galaxies, and star systems, and bodies which last only a very short time and which during that brief lifespan suffer frequently through illness, accident, or the untoward and unconscionable actions of others. Not a very encouraging or enticing environment in which to experience your all too brief lives. You are all eternal beings, and death is but part of the illusion, often an alarming part because it seems so final and inevitable. And as you have searched widely in recent decades for a culture, a philosophy, or a religion that offers truth and meaning, many of you have opened your hearts to love, and have found it in the most unexpected places. You have realized that without love, forgiveness, and compassion that lasting peace is impossible. This realization has become apparent and is being acknowledged in personal relationships, has spread to families, to small social groups and organizations, and the wisdom and knowledge it demonstrates is now starting to be put into practice on a much wider scale. You are changing the world one person at a time, and that is the only way that lasting change can occur. Each one of you has to embrace and demonstrate love, honesty, integrity, and trust, and each day more and more of you are doing just that. A major turning point in humanity's spiritual evolution has been reached, and there truly is only spiritual evolution. Any other form is of the illusion and does not last. Spiritual evolution is the path to your awakening, and you are now most firmly established on it with the destination in sight. You will be pleased to know there is now not the slightest possibility of turning back or of retracing your steps. You are moving firmly forwards and nothing can prevent you from achieving your destiny. Once you embrace love, God's love offered to you in every moment, it is impossible for you not to share it and extend it because your individual energy fields expand every time that you do so, creating for yourself an irresistible space of peace and acceptance that also draws others to you who then do likewise. The evolutionary progress that humanity has made over the last 6 or 7 decades is quite astounding, and although there are still many who have chosen not to start evolving yet, and who are seemingly causing mayhem all over the world, the remaining time they have in positions from which they can continue to orchestrate conflict and betrayal is running out very rapidly. Some of them have finally started questioning their agendas, their motivations, because even they have been infected by love, mainly for their progeny, which previously they inoculated themselves against, so that they would have the strength to bury their true feelings as they drove all those with whom they were involved to sacrifice themselves for the cause. The cause being their own personal agenda to maintain power over others at all costs, even if it meant destroying their loved ones. But then of course their loved ones were merely possessions to be used as circumstances demanded to consolidate or strengthen their positions. Your history clearly shows that these power-driven dynasties are always defeated eventually, even if they do succeed in the short term in living in great wealth or splendor while doing great damage to others during their time in power. Your history also shows very clearly that replacing one dynasty with another, as has happened so many times, solves no problems whatsoever in the long term. Power sought and fought for divides and corrupts totally, while your innate power, which can never be taken from you, your divine inheritance given to you at the moment of your creation, is inclusive, accepting, and eternally incorporated within each of you because you are all one perfectly integrated whole with God. The power that you can gain on earth through force of arms, manipulation of others, deceit, or betrayal is but a form of quicksand, a swamp, a whirlpool that sucks you in, crushing and smothering you, filling you with fear, and distracting you from your life's purpose, awakening. It has always to be protected and defended, and that alone demonstrates that it is not power but weakness. You do not need and should not seek that kind of power over others, because, apart from the harm you do to them, you do great and lasting damage to yourselves by engaging with it. It very effectively turns you against yourself in inner conflict because you can never live up to the standards you demand of yourself to prove that you are invincible, which of course you are not. You become ever more removed from the true you as you avoid loving attitudes or behaviors of any kind in order to remain strong. Happiness becomes impossible, and bitterness and anger rule you as you seek out and destroy any whom you think might deceive or betray you, leaving you apparently alone, isolated, and separated from love, God, your source, even while perhaps claiming to do His will. But those separated ones are not separated, because separation is not an option. They are merely unaware because they have closed their eyes to His light, and their hearts to His love. When you surrender to the will of God, which as you well know is also your will, you open yourselves to His love, allowing it to flow through you, thus intensely strengthening your own individual energy fields and encouraging them to join together with those of others, bringing you together as one. And in that surrender lies your eternal power, a power that you can never lose and which makes you as invincible as your source. No one will remain forever close to God, because the light of His love burns within each one of you and is, in the end, utterly irresistible. So send love to those who are lost and shut down, no matter how harshly they are behaving, and thereby intensify the love burning within you. As we keep telling you, love, and love alone, is the answer to every problem. You have only to allow it to flow freely, without let or hindrance, and all will be eternally well. And there is no way that you can stop it from flowing freely, abundantly, and eternally, because it is all, there is nothing else. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com